Hello and welcome to yet another video here on the YouTube channel Spelfriendly Fellowship SDF. My name is Andreas Norwegian Viking.
And I'm Stig.
And this is our review of Ardacon International 2017. So, Ardacon is done. We have had, we can have to basically mull over what we thought about the event and what we our review basically, what we are going to say and what we because what I think is important when you do a review of something is to give the most honest and good review. You have to be a bit distant from it. You have to have some distance from the actual event, not to be marred by the excitement and the overall ecstatic nature of our hobby, so that you basically can give a truthful review without your own buzz getting in the way.
Yeah, it can also of course go the other way, that you had a negative experience and then that also mars it quite severely as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you for instance, if you attend Ardacon and then you're on all 3 days and on the Sunday something happens and you immediately do a review after like an hour after one negative experience, that could mar the whole review. So I feel a bit of distance is needed. Obviously when doing unboxings, I usually just go ahead, open the box, give my review without looking at the miniatures previously. And that can sometimes mar my my review of it, but then again, it's that general enthusiasm of getting something and getting it on camera as well. So we have a list of bullet points so that the review is organized as well, because I'm not doing this by myself this year. I'm joined by Stig, of course, and my review of Ardacon last year was very well received. I thought my points came across, and a lot of it was taken into consideration for this year. So yeah, let's just go through it all, and at the end we'll give our summary of what we thought about the event. But we have bullet points for all the different things, so we can talk a bit about them as well. Ardacon 2016 was last year in October, and it was announced around Christmas, spring, about February,
around New Year somewhere.
Because I think the date, the ticket prices and the rules pack was a bit late, but the date and the ticket price was announced, I'd like to say January, February, somewhere.
It was fairly early, so people should have the time.
And in that the date was revealed, and what immediately became apparent was that many people had an issue with the date, being in the summer holiday, and people only given about 6 months of prep time for that, because I plan my vacations months and months and months in advance. Like I want to know what I'm doing at this time next year, basically. If I don't, I might have an issue with work. I might have an issue with my girlfriend, with scheduling conflict. So getting a date early out is very important, and I think that is something that might have been the reason why so many people didn't show up for Ardacon this year. There was 118 players in the Grand Tournament and the WTC, and there was, well, a number of spectators, but there was about 30 people that didn't come back to Ardacon this year.
It's still a lot of players, though.
It is still the biggest event of the year in SPG calendar terms, but I do think James expected the same amount or more at this event, but I do think that, and we'll come back to that in the summary, but I think some of that might be rectified for next year. So the rules pack went up a bit late in my estimate. It wasn't up until like, I want to say March, February, March, April.
It
was,
yeah, somewhere around there.
Because it was, yeah, it was a bit late, but the rules pack had a number of changes in it, and first of all, it is one of the best rules packs in. Well, it's not a rules pack basically. It's a convention agenda, because you didn't only have the price for the event where you can buy it, and the number of points you're playing and the number of scenarios you're playing. It is the entire event covered in one big PDF. So if we're just going to go by the rules pack itself, there was a bit of changes to not the doubles and not the Chaos and Arda, because they were the same amount of points, and
they were the same as last year.
Yeah. But the Grand Tournament in WTC was 100 points more.
Yeah, and a few changes to the scenarios as well. We'll get to those.
Yeah. So the amount of extra, what I immediately thought of when I saw, oh, it's a 700 point tournament, was time. Because if there was one thing I had not an issue with, but something I struggled with, was time last year. I played a Hobbit army last year. I had a huge number of models, and my games mostly went out on time. I remember playing Devin in game 4 last year. If the game would have lasted 5 minutes longer, I would have won 5-2 instead of losing 0-2. So it's, I think time is of the essence when it comes to this, and I was very pleased when I saw the scheduling. They put up an extra day, so you had the whole Friday, not just from 7 p.m. or a.m. I can never remember which is which.
A.m. with the morning.
Okay, so 7 p.m. was last year. So this time it was 9 p.m. a.m. Yeah.
We start. You mean?
This year we started 9.
We started at 9. Yes.
Yeah, 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
And that gives you nearly an entire day, because that is 10 hours more in the scheduling, and frees up so huge amount of resources. You can essentially have a tournament in 10 hours.
Yeah.
I've seen that done before, and that was what James did. He put up Chaos and Arda, and he put up the doubles on the Friday. Icebreaker events. I think kicking off an event with a Chaos and Arda event is so good, because you will have people never attending a tournament before. You will have people traveling alone, not knowing anybody. We met up with a guy from Inverness who basically didn't have any community at all up there. He had one player we played with, but that wasn't Lord Rings. And we started chatting to him throughout the Friday, and he just hung around for the entire event.
Yeah.
He didn't plan to come to Ardacon to play, but he just hang around, and I expect to see him next year. And that is awesome, because then you have players and people who get to know people during the Friday. It's like the first day of camp, like summer camp. You come there and you don't know anybody, and you're a bit timid, and it's like, yeah, hello, I'm Andreas, and then you go hide in your corner a bit. And with the Chaos and Art event, there's hopefully 3 people you never played with that much before.
Yeah, that was the case for me this year anyway.
Yeah, you play with Ben Camp.
Yes.
No, not Ben Camp. Ben.
I remember there was a Mark there.
Yeah, you played with Ben. You played with Mark. No, I played with Ben in Chaos and Arda. I played with, because I didn't know Ben that well. I saw him last year, I think. And I think I saw him at Distillation Stockport. And Damien was there. And I've never played Damien except in like the SPG participation game for SPG magazine. And also Joe Holtzman, who I know from being a patron of ours, but
Joe.
never really played with him. So a nice icebreaker event for me, getting to talk to the people and then just have fun slinging dice around, getting my bulk killed by a ballista in the back. That's nice, Joe. Thank you. Why did you not shoot Damien in the back? Because you had a deal. You had a deal. Like, Damien wouldn't attack you when he was this close to your ballista, but when he was in the middle of the table, he couldn't reach you. So just shoot him.
Yeah, it's perfectly legal. I had people doing that to me last year. How about it, Ed? That alliance lasted roughly 34 seconds.
Yeah. No, mine and Damien's lines lasted the whole game. Because he played Gundabad Beasties and I played Gundabad Heroes Azog and Bolg.
Yeah.
And at the time, Bolg was dismounted, but both White Wog and Azog and the White Wog survived. So they were both on foot going about. And Azog was going to the middle of the table, and his Gundabad Brute and Ogre was going to one of the objectives. So basically, Azog and these guys just passed each other. and I was looking at Damon, and he was like, and I was like, oh, what is that? What is that look? Are you going to attack me now? And I was like, and he was like, no. And then I moved my model, and when it came time for him to move, he moved past my model, and I was like, So yeah, it was I think Chaos and Arda, designed of course by Devin of DCHL, with some changes to the cards this year.
Yeah. A couple of clarifications. I didn't really notice anything with the cards this year at all.
No.
Throughout the entirety of the game, I think we went through the deck roughly twice during the event.
Because you of course won Chaos and Arda.
I did. I also probably is why I don't really remember who I played anymore. No, I just started realizing after the first 2 rounds I had 6 points at that point.
Oh.
After 3 rounds, I basically sat there on 6 points, and with another 2 easily available. So I basically I was at 8 points by around 4. And all the other 3 armies had just gone bam straight into each other's face.
Yep.
So okay, it was a very nice thematic battle, and I got lots of weather cards, so that they were all trapped. They were transfixed in the woods where they were fighting. Yeah, it was basically an incredible luck of the cards and the aggressiveness of Thorin's company against the other dwarves and the trolls and the other. Yeah, it was a very nice thematic battle by all means, but I think one party ended up taking a slight bit of advantage of the others.
You?
Yes,
yeah.
me.
Because Azog and Bolg just zipped around the board, claiming all the objectives, and yeah.
And picking off a few people that got too close, or yeah, or I basically went and took, when I had to kill something, I took those just in order to combat out.
Yeah.
So I was being perhaps not as chaotic as I could have been.
Well, but did you have fun?
Oh yeah, everyone on the table had fun.
And that's most
not an
important
issue.
bit. That's the most important bit.
I still remember the armies extremely well. I remember the people's faces, but I don't remember their names. I only remember Mark.
Well, if you played Stig in Chaos and Arda, do comment below, tell us who you are, and give your account of how Stig played. Alright, so moving on to well, we shouldn't have talked about Chaos and Arda until bit of bullet points, so we were skipping ahead a bit, and there was doubles on Friday as well. And the scheduling was that there was a Q&A on the Friday evening with the Middle-earth team, and then there was, of course, the Q&A with the SPG magazine on the Saturday evening, as well as a quiz made by the Middle-earth team, and there was also a painting competition going through the entire event. So the schedule looked pretty good to get back on track with the schedule, because we have skipped ahead to Chaos and Arda.
Well, we can't really be expected to keep to a bullet point, can we?
Well, we have bullet points, we should keep track of it, but...
Yeah, well, we did cover bullet points, even if not in the right order.
True. Alright, so I thought the rules pack in its entirety was very, very well made, very good scheduled, and my concern was that the schedule wouldn't hold before the event, because of course last year we had a 3-hour delay on the Saturday, I believe, and about an hour delay on the Friday as well, because of the insane amount of people registering on the Friday. Chaos and Arda wasn't kicked off until about half an hour, 45 minutes late. So my immediate concern was, again, time, because time is of the essence. But they also, because of the extra day, you had 2 hours for each game in the WTC, and you had a 15-minute break between each. Well, you had an hour for lunch between the first and second game on each day. So that was the rules pack, an events pack basically in its entirety. So next point on the rules pack was listening to feedback, because James got a huge amount of feedback, both positive and negative, last year regarding the event, and there was obviously the schedule was one of the big feedback points, and there was also a big feedback regarding getting help. And James did listen to the getting help part. He recruited Dan Entwistle to be his main referee. Of course, Pete was in charge of the welcoming desk, swag bag, the raffle sales, everything.
He was the face of Ardacon as you approached him.
Yes, as I told in my Ardacon experience, I had a 3-minute interview with him, and that is the face of Ardacon, and boy, with a friendly face Pete is. Pete is a lovely, lovely guy.
With or without his helmet.
With or without his helmet, and he shaved off his beard.
Yeah, he
that
did that.
Actually, Pete, that makes you. Well, you were here, now you're just half an inch lower on my bar because you shaved off your beard.
Well, he does suit the beard, doesn't he?
He very much suits the beard. Because I had on my Facebook feed, I had, because he was going on vacation just after Ardacon, and suddenly I saw his name, but the face
I couldn't
on the
recognize
picture
him.
was not Pete. So
I struggled to recognize him as well. I saw the same one. But who is?
Who's this?
Who's this? Yeah. So yeah.
So do get your beard back, Pete.
You have until Ardacon next year.
Or you can't be an honorary Viking again. Sam Page, lovely guy. He was also refereeing for James. He had the Rotterdam White Scars doing the painting competition.
They did a lovely job at it as well.
And we're getting back to the Rotterdam White Scars painting things later on as well. And he had, remembering names, the technical wizard.
Mickey something?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Doing all these spreadsheets, magics and...
Scottish fellow, wasn't it? Was it Mickey Ward, does that sound right?
Perhaps. Oh well, if we got your name wrong, we are sorry.
Yeah.
So that went from a one-man event last year to a five-man event.
Yeah. And there's also, of course, several people, other small, little tinier or smaller roles here and there as well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And we of course helped out on the streaming part as well. And we'll get back to that as well. So the events pack and the announcements and everything for the event was all in all for me. It was a date which some people could manage, some people couldn't. That made it a bit of a tough thing immediately for people to consider. Lots of comments about, oh, why not October, something like that. But if you haven't heard from James, it's because the convention hall is double the amount of money for the well, the price is doubled basically, and you couldn't do the extra half a day, and you couldn't do Ardacon again without more people attending.
Yeah.
So a lot more people attending.
As you can see, for example, if this is going to be had to happen in October this year, it probably never would have happened, more than likely.
Yeah, because then without that many people arriving, like you would need 200 people for it to be financially viable and James not taking loss. And October is convention season, so it would be hard to book the hotel. I don't think we could have gotten low rates on the rooms. I don't think we could have gotten discount on food and drinks, possibly.
With the discount, it actually became as easier to be there than it was to go anywhere. So, yeah.
We'll come back to food later on as well. And because of the amount of people signing up for Ardacon very early, things looked extremely good.
Yeah.
There were instantly 60 tickets sold. The next 40 went a bit quick. We'll just have to plug in the camera to the charger. So give us a second. All right, so we are back. Sorry about that. So obviously the first 100 tickets went quite fast,
Yeah.
and then it started slowing pretty much down for James. James became worried about the amount of people signing up, and you could kind of see it as well through the Facebook posts he did, like the announcement and everything for Ardacon, the amount of media going into Ardacon before the event, like well before the event, was not as much as it was last year. Obviously that was also because of Eleanor, James' baby, being born.
Yeah.
That had a huge impact on it, I would reckon. But I also didn't think James would spend that much time promoting the event because of the success, or relative success, of last year's event. But when he saw that it might become difficult to get that many people to the event, the amount of media immediately ramped up. So there was a community drive suddenly happening. Like, we stepped up a bit, did several videos about Ardacon. We had people donating money that couldn't go. People basically buying tickets without going, because people wanted to give tickets to people who couldn't afford it. And that made the difference for James.
I think he actually then ended up breaking even throughout just...
Yeah, but that wasn't because of the ticket sales, and we'll get to that later on as well. So the community, as it always does with SPG, stepped up. If there's one general thing about the Middle-earth community, is that when things are rough, we as a group, as a worldwide community, step up and help people who are in a bit of a rough patch. Like people having trouble with their car, can't pay for their repairs, and have to sell out of production miniatures. Well, don't sell your miniatures, we'll help you instead. People having issues, we'll help, and that is one of the coolest things about this community, in my opinion. We step up.
And I have not really been in anything or a community that even resembles what we have for the SPG game. Not even remotely so.
So it's really good. The community that drives not just Ardacon but every event, the entire Facebook page and everything. We are a worldwide community, very tight knit. Quite little friction. There's some friction, of course, but
well, we're still people.
Yeah, brothers fight.
Yes, they do.
I'm an only child, so I don't have a I don't have a thing with that. But siblings fight, and I consider all the people in the SPG community my brothers and sisters, and that is what's great about it.
No, I have a younger sister, so I know the issues.
You can relate. You can relate. Okay. So that's pre-Ardacon. So going into Ardacon, James was less stressed because he got help getting Ardacon. Well, during Ardacon he got help. He knew he had help coming on. He was at a better place financially than he might have been without the help of community. And we kick off Ardacon on the Thursday. So we arrive for Ardacon basically on the Wednesday. We arrive very early.
Yeah, we were there Wednesday evening.
Yeah. We met up with some people at Element Games. I went to Element Games on the Thursday morning to finish the Smaug and as well be social. I met Dave Nolan and Devin and Scott Johnson and lots of people just showing up at Element Games and having a few games there, while you went to Southport to play a game against Tom in TNG Productions of Guild Ball. So and then you came back to Element Games, and me and Devin and you took a taxi to the Mercure.
Yeah, and we met at roughly five-ish. I think we were at Mercure.
Yeah, 6. So we arrived at the Mercure. We helped James a bit with setting up. Of course, inserted our stuff into the swag bag.
Of course.
And set up that. And then it was social happening. Basically, the bar was filled with people. We had people coming in from Scotland, Canada, United States, all of the UK, and people like immediately. What I think about when I think about my tournament experiences in the UK is you are greeted as a friend. There's hugs all around. There's like, yeah, way. And
I don't think I've given so many hugs in the 3 days as in those 3 days as I have through the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure, and we're generally with people that I see once a year.
So, Ardacon isn't just a tournament, and I think that is apparent. Going through everything is that it's not just a tournament. It's a social event. It's a must-attend event for very many people because of the implication that you will meet people from Canada, from the United States, from all of the UK, Ireland, Germany, Holland, Scandinavia, Italy, Poland.
Yeah, you'll meet people from everywhere.
From everywhere, and hopefully next year Australia as well.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Hopefully. So after a few beers and stuff like that at the Mercure, pre-registration starts.
Yeah.
So we got our wristbands, we got our swag bag.
This wristband,
He
yes.
still has it on. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. I sadly took mine off because I have sensitive skin. Being a Viking,
Poor Viking.
I just ruined my entire Viking image, I think. And
You still have your beard going.
yeah, this is my beard. Hides the fact that I'm a big softy inside. So, pre-registration, there was no lines that I could see. You are met by the beautiful bearded face of Pete. Get your beard back. Hashtag bring the beard back. And for James as well, hashtag bring the beard back. And then we went for some food.
Yeah.
Because our honorary Norwegian for the weekend, Andrew Cox, took us.
He has a mighty good beard as well.
He has a very mighty good beard. He travelled in from Bulgaria,
Yep.
where he lives with his girlfriend Angela. We had lovely banter going back and forth before the event as well. Angela, of course, buying some dice, and Andrew not allowed to see them. So I had to, yeah, the amount of stuff I did to not make Andrew touch, see, smell, yeah, at the dice, because Andrew has the dice of death and Angela wouldn't want him to curse her dice or something. It was absolutely hilarious. So he had lived in Manchester before, so he knew a good steakhouse in the same building as the Mercure. So you just basically have to go right outside the building, and then right again, and then you're at the steakhouse. And it was a lovely, lovely experience. We were 14 people?
Yeah, about there.
14 people, yeah. We had good steaks. We had we shared 800 grams of Chateaubriand.
Yep.
Lovely.
That was lovely. Let's see, we ended up there with the Guernsey guy, Dan, is it?
Dan Leprost, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So Dan was there, and Devin was there as well.
Yeah.
Had a fair bit of people there.
We had about a dozen people, including a few friends of people that were there just to see.
Yeah, because obviously people coming into Manchester and having friends in Manchester, they want to see them as well. So that was a lovely, lovely thing. We went back to the hotel, had more drinks.
Yes, there was a lot of this back to the hotel, or even not even leaving the hotel for drinks. The bar was very well frequented.
Yeah, good amount of drinks. And yeah, so that was the Thursday.
Yeah.
The Thursday was hashtag smooth. The registration was good. The James took care of everyone.
No.
He even had a beer.
Yes.
He didn't drink at all during the last event because he was so stressed out.
I don't think he had time to even half breathe during that event.
Yeah, and it just was immediately apparent to me that James was more relaxed about the event this year. And the games hall was beautiful.
Yeah.
Last year you had battle mats, and you had a scattering of woods, and that was it, and some houses.
Yeah.
This year,
Games Workshop stepped up.
Games Workshop stepped up. I think they made about 120 woods, citadel woods, and about 120 sets of Osgiliath ruins for the tables.
There was some small complaining that there's too many woods on the top 20 tables, but should we?
I think that was just Ed with his fell beasts.
Yeah, he had actually calculated the average amount of woods and found it slightly not wanting a little bit too many. But let's not get into that one too much.
No. And obviously the lower tables were beautiful because that was the dozen tables that Steve Crow brought.
Yeah, that wasn't my highlight of the day. It just basically setting up all of those. So I was helping him with that during much of the setting up day we had.
Yeah. And that was just amazing to have these beautiful, beautiful tables. I hope that Steve gets to bring his tables again for next year. And I hear since he's doing 2 Scouring of Cheshire next year, because he's doing the league opener as well as the one that's just before Ardacon, there might be even more tables that he is bringing for next year. So the train setup, everything. Beautiful. And then the Friday morning happened. So, Chaos Armada, good icebreaker event, we've already talked about this. And then we had break for lunch.
Yes.
And then we had the doubles. So, during the doubles, me and Stig teamed up. Obviously, Andrew took
Steve
Crow as his partner, and our Marius didn't show up until mid-game on game 1, I think.
I think he landed just before we started.
Yeah, I think he landed 5 minutes before the doubles was scheduled to start.
Yeah.
So he arrived, and STF did media for the entire event. We did live streams during the entire event. So, for those of you who know wrestling, we play doubles using the Freebirds rule. So we lost the first game, and it's like, yeah, we already lost. I'm not playing competitive anyway, so Marius.
We did do a lot of fun hurling though in the first game.
Oh yes, the first game. Good and the bad. Ogre tossed Thorin through like 10 dwarfs, nearly killing him in the process. Yeah, it was on 0 fate and 1 wound left after that went through.
Yeah.
And that was his general as well. So
yeah, that's actually done twice. That happened to me during the tournament, and the opponent's leader general on 1 wound, or basically 1 wound, no fate, running for his life, leaving his men to die.
Yeah. So
good on you for it.
I tagged in Marius for the doubles, so I could do some filming during the second game. So we were basically 3 people playing doubles, because in the first game, me and Stig, second game, Stig and Marius, and third game, me and Marius, while you were doing some filming.
Yeah, with some lovely chaps during that time too.
You film with Mercenaries, the card game.
Yeah, and I had a pretty long chat with James as well.
Yeah, and again, James being able to have an interview during Ardacon, amazing stuff.
Yeah. His oxygen levels seemed to be good as well. He had a little red in his face. Everything was doing quite well.
Didn't look pale.
No, he didn't look pale at all.
Good. So then we had the painting competition going on. So during the event, Roster and White Scars was set up on a huge table. You handed in miniatures for him. So during the first game on the Chaos Armada, you basically handed in your doubles army. And there was a vote in the lunch break for that, and then during the Saturday and Sunday, you handed in different categories and stuff like that, and was voting for that, and that was done quite well. I think Rotten White Scars did an amazing first try of that. I think a bit more preparation on it would be good.
Yeah, I suppose this is the first time they do something like this. So.
Of course, but this is honest feedback, so I will give mine. So there was a bit of confusion about when voting stopped, because I handed in my Smaug for the painting competition. I think that was on Saturday or Sunday, and then I took it away for my game, and then I handed it back because voting was still on. So it was a bit of so they need to be more thorough on when voting stops, because not everyone stops and starts games on the same time, or starts the game on the same time, but don't stop the game on the same time. So you need to have that definite slot when voting stops for a painting competition. That's my well, the only feedback I have for the event. Not the event, but the painting competition part of the event, is that there needs to be a bit more prep, and also do pre-printed registration cards for the painting competition, not just handing out post-its, would be better.
I guess they now have a much more idea of exactly what they need to do for next year, I imagine.
I think so, yeah.
I assume they're doing it next year as well.
Obviously. I hope, because
They also have a community that's also a lot based around the hobby painting aspect of it in particular, so it suits them as a club as well.
It does. So yeah, doubles happen, painting competitions happen during the Friday, and then we have the Middle-earth team seminar and Q&A. So obviously the Middle-earth team came in force. You had both Jay and Adam attending all the tournaments, and did a lot of cool stuff during the event. And they had a seminar with basically what we can expect from the next few months, as well as the next year or so, half year at least. So we, of course, immediately after that went and live streamed our reactions on the things that came out of that event.
We were a whole 7 minutes after it. That's when we started sharing the video.
And I think because we got a bit of feedback on that as well. Because there was a lot of sound in the pub, on the bar. So we, I think next year, go back to the hotel room instead and film it.
I think I know where to go for the balcony. I think we should be probably going
on top of the balcony.
Yeah,
because there's poor lighting up there.
Yeah, but that can be remedied.
Yeah.
But also the hotel room is also another alternative. We'll see what we do if we can get a good setup.
Yeah, because we can set up before. If we do it in a hotel room, we can set up before the Q&A.
Yeah.
Or before anything happens, basically, and then we can go to the hotel room, film it, and then come back down again. So that's a bit of feedback we take to heart as well, because we listen.
It's also due to the fact that the people in the bar actually put the television on right next to us. Yeah. And that was not part of the plan.
Because there was one guy, a guest, not part of Ardacon, who wanted to see some rugby match or something.
It was some Indian thing, kabata or kabiti or whatever it's called again.
Right.
It looked like a kind of tag team thingy.
Oh, okay.
Didn't quite get it.
So yeah, and the rest of Friday, social events happening. We had loads of beers with people.
Yep.
We chatted to everyone, and yeah, had a bit of food. Don't remember what and where we ate on the Friday.
Friday? Good question. I think we ended up at... Didn't we end up at a very late night Burger King?
Was that on Saturday?
I don't really remember, honestly.
Yeah, anyway. Alright, so Saturday, we had more people arriving, because not everyone could attend Friday. And registration, smooth. Hashtag smooth.
No delays whatsoever.
No delays. WTC and Grand Tournament started on time. We set up streaming. So James wanted us to stream one table from every matchup or every round of the tournament. So we basically picked matches, me and Dan and Wuzzle, picked matches that we thought were interesting to people, and did the best we could. We got one comment in the chat that our setup was better than Desolation of Stockport stream. I don't think I agree from a technical standpoint, because their setup there was a proper tripod with a proper iPad holder and stuff like that. we had a tripod, an iPad and a piece of gaffer tape.
Still quality high. No worries.
So yeah.
Just about like airplanes.
And during the first game, there was a fire alarm.
Yes,
'Cause-
exactly 1 hour in.
Yeah, exactly 1 hour before that, we were told over the PA, or not the PA, but the microphone, that there is no scheduled fire drills this weekend at all.
Yeah.
And then the fire alarm went off. And that went very smoothly.
About 40 minutes?
About 30 minutes. We so everyone was out after like 4 minutes.
Yeah, we were on the street level within like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. We were in the stream chat. People were blaming Smaug.
Which is fairly obvious.
My Smaug had nothing to do with the fire alarm at all. Just want to have that stated for posterity. He doesn't believe me. Somebody blamed Andrew's dice of death.
That's also very possible.
Because they were on fire.
Yeah. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Just don't put them on the same table.
Yeah. The fire department arrived after about 6 minutes. Had passed total time after the fire alarm went off, and it quickly became apparent that there's nothing serious going on. Somebody tripped the fire alarm.
It's a panel, they said.
Yeah, and we could go back in, and the game started with about half an hour delay.
Yeah,
and that is fair. And James had nothing to do with that. It is these things happen. But things went smoothly.
Yeah, we were basically back on time by the end of the day as well.
Yeah, and some cool stories about the fire alarm as well, because Jay had just recorded his score, finishing the game, dropped down the pencil, fire alarm went off. Thijs from Rotterdam White Scars said, I think he did something with his Smaug and said, I am fire, I am death, and then the fire alarm went off. Lots of cool stuff like that happening. So
this fire alarm essentially became kind of a little fun memory for people rather than actually anything of an annoyance.
Yeah. So the general consensus on during the Saturday is that things went very smoothly. People having a lot of fun. People are able to have food and drinks and not being stressed by the time. We finished the fourth game on about like 30 minutes, 45 minutes too late.
Barely that. 20-30 minutes somewhere. It wasn't much.
Because I don't think because the schedule was pushed because of the fire alarm, and then there was like some registration problems with some scores.
Yeah,
in two different rounds. So
5-10 minutes.
So about 40 to 45 minutes total delay on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we had the SPG magazine Q&A. Tom and Damien, of course, having their fifth magazine available at Ardacon, arriving 2 days before Ardacon by courier.
Yeah. Plenty of time, don't worry. Plenty of time.
So they had a Q&A about their process going into the magazine, very interesting stuff, tedious Tom, cool stuff. If you want to see the entirety of the SPG magazine Q&A, it is available on our channel as well. We live streamed it throughout the event and did get it up on YouTube.
How many videos did we go through and make during that weekend?
In the Ardacon playlist there is currently 23 videos.
So roughly 20 then during the weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
That's not too bad.
Not too bad. And a lot of people were watching. Like about 100 people watched the streams of the different games live, and then you had numerous people watching it after the fact as well. So I think the stream were good, and we'll try to get that better quality next year as well.
Yeah.
A bit better lighting on the rigs, and a better camera setup as well.
I think that should be quite doable.
Mm.
Now we have a little bit more time to prepare, and we know what to do essentially.
Yeah. Then there was a quiz. So Jay and Adam made a quiz for us. It was extremely fun. We got a few extra honorary Norwegians for our team.
Yeah, they were from Yorkshire, I believe.
Yeah. Good.
It's close enough. It's not that far from Norway. Is that
Just over the pond, you mean?
just over the pond?
So quiz was extremely good, and once again the Wanderers won it for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
I think they're cheating. Or they're just a bit good.
Maybe.
I don't think they're cheating.
They were doing just fine anyway.
Well, we had a very good expert on Middle-earth lore on our table as well. So we got about half the questions right. We got half the amount of points we could have gotten.
Yeah, we had young Harry. He was
Yes.
Yeah. He needs a little honourable mention.
Harry Johnson. Yeah.
Those movie quotes was impressive.
Yeah. We would love to have you on our quiz team again, Harry. Really good showing there.
He probably got us 4 or 5 points on his own or something.
Yeah.
From that movie quiz alone. That was top class.
Top class. And then we had the social event on the Saturday. Well, not a social event, but we had the social aspect of it. Had too many bears.
No. We don't have too many bears.
Just the right amount.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I do remember you shambling towards the room at the end.
Yes.
Did I go to bed earlier than you on this Saturday?
I have honestly no idea.
So that was, but again, extremely fun. On this Saturday, you had the last 2 rounds of the WCC. And again, paint competitions from Roster and White Scars. We streamed the tables, and the championship game happened. So it was between Tom from the Wanderers and David Reed from Team Scotland. And it was an extremely exciting game. We live streamed it on YouTube, and we had it on the big screen as well. I think there was about 20-30 people watching the final game on the big screen.
Yeah.
And about 20 to 30 people watching the actual game from the sides of the barricades, because we set up some barricades so that they could have privacy in their games. And there was people having 8-man Chaos and Arda games.
Wasn't there multiples of them as well?
I think there were 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So even though like the actual event had ended and it was just between these 2 people, people still went around chatting, having games, having fun. And again, this is what makes Ardacon something more than just a tournament. So yeah, great stuff. Then we had the award ceremony and raffle. So cool thing, because you play Guild Ball and I play Guild Ball, and you bought a fisherman's team starter box when the starter boxes was 3 models.
Yes.
And there was suddenly 2 models you couldn't get a hold of unless you bought a 6-man box, the new 6-man box. And I bought raffle tickets for, I think I had like 40-50 raffle tickets in total.
Yeah, I had roughly the same as well.
Because we wanted a sword. We wanted Boromir's sword back.
Yeah,
back home.
Yeah, back where it's supposed to belong.
Yeah,
on our wall over there.
Walls. Yeah. But I was the first ticket drawn out of the hat, So I obviously picked up, because that was between like 3 Guild Ball teams,
Yeah.
so I picked up the Fisherman team for you. And then
The second was me.
and the second was you. And you got a
A
Guild Ball team.
second alchemist team.
Yeah. So I basically traded that for you, with you, yeah. And then obviously the raffle was going through. A lot of cool stuff was handed away on the raffle. You had a Dark Souls board game. You had SPG magazine. You had
The Mercenaries game.
Mercenaries game, Guild Ball teams, and of course the big one, Boromir's sword.
That was a big sword.
That was a big sword. And if you want to watch the complete award ceremony raffle, it is available on our YouTube, of course. And the award ceremony had lots of different categories. You had awards for, first of all, it was the best painted categories. So there was a category for Monster Hero Warband, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was
Monster Hero and Warband.
Yeah.
In both participation, so those you used for the tournament,
Yeah.
and those you didn't use for the tournament. And in the non-participation, in the open categories, people just buying a spectator pass could also enter. So I entered Smaug,
Yeah.
I entered my Dun Lendings in the open category, and I entered my Foot Azog, just for fun. And Smaug won.
Yeah, it did.
Smaug won the open, the participation award, and my Dun Lendings won in the open competition for Warband. So that was really cool. Extra awards went out. Jerome Felix won for best army.
Yeah.
Tim Croft won for best
Monster.
best monster in the open category with
Yeah,
his
it's,
very cool Goblin King.
Yeah, that was very fun.
Lots of cool entries, lots of cool categories, and I really hope Rotten Whitescars does this again. And then you have the army awards. So there was awards for best Hobbit evil, Hobbit good, best evil army, best good army, and then best like Morin Angmar, best Fallen Realms, best Kingsmen, best Free People, and best Mordor.
Yeah, all mine.
All 9. And Smaug again stepped up and won best evil army. No, best Hobbit evil army. So he came in 15th overall with Smaug. That was quite awesome.
Yeah.
Quite surprising as well. And 1 place higher than Will Champion. Again, for like the 3rd time or something. With his Azog's Hunters list. So yeah. Very cool.
Don't worry, Will, we still love you. It's okay.
We do love you, Will.
Yeah.
And you had awards in, so you had the team championship awards, so 3rd, 2nd and 1st place. So the 3rd place went to, it wasn't Team Knots.
No, they were 2nd, I believe.
Yeah, Team Knots was 2nd, Wanderers were 1st. Was it? It wasn't Team Shots.
I really can't remember right now.
Alright.
Could be that or maybe Scotland.
Maybe Team Scotland, yeah.
I'm sure people will let us know
How we
faulty our memory is.
Yeah. And then there was the 1st, 2nd and 3rd place for the grand tournament. And for this, Games Workshop put up prizes.
And those were mighty prizes.
They were completely new trophies that they will be giving out to events around the world. So Nova is getting them. And they just look absolutely stunning. It's one of the coolest trophies for a tournament I've ever seen.
It was done a few days before as well.
Yeah. So obviously Jay got third place. Tom got second, and of course, being the winner of the last game, David got the first place trophy. Yeah, beautiful trophies, and of course he got the Ardacon cape.
Yep.
The ceremony, the cape ceremony, such cool stuff. And then Ardacon was finished, and James had a long speech, thanking everyone who helped, and
that was a long one, and next year might even get longer.
Yeah, probably, with more people helping out.
No.
But yeah, it's just a testament to the community and how many people who actually deserves recognition for the work they're doing within the community. And I just think that they deserve to be mentioned in like a post-tournament speech. So Ardacon was then done. People started filing to their planes or to their hotels or mostly to the bar.
Mostly to the bar. The majority went to the bar.
Yeah.
And stay there until 2 a.m.
Yeah. True. But there was also some cleaning up. And this is a point I want to make, because something I saw at Distillation Stockport last year, when I went by myself, and something I saw at Distillation Stockport this year when I went with you, and something I saw at Ardacon both last year and this year, is that in Norway we have, in tournaments, we are not done with the tournament until we have cleaned up. And of course some people need to catch their trains, and some people need to catch their planes and stuff like that, but most people hang around until the cleaning is done. But not in Britain. Most people just wander off and take their models and just go away.
There was roughly, was it a dozen or so that stayed?
Yeah, but that was just because James asked over the intercom to help out with cleaning. So that, I don't know why that is, but I think that because after Distillation Stockport it was me, you, Tim and James and Steve.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, we were like 5 people. Yeah.
5 people cleaning up after a 100-man tournament.
Yeah, there was, the entire venue was empty in 10-15 minutes after we finished. After the award ceremonies and such, it was just...
And also at Ardacon, as Norwegians, we instinctively help out with the cleanup.
It's also the fact that we have perhaps a smaller community.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. Food for thought. I just think everything will be faster if everyone just lends a hand cleaning up.
Yeah.
And that might be something that James could look into for next year, is after the event is done. Well, after you can like, I'm done. Have a plan for the cleaning up after the event as well.
Or just have a bit, or that people that are there can contribute 20 minutes of their time.
Or even 5 or even 10, everything helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, we after we helped cleaning up, rigging down our stream event and stuff like that, we had a bit of social activity, so we're about 20 people having food at the bar.
Yeah, or something like that. It's quite a lot of people anyway. I spent a fair bit of time with the Irish.
Yeah, Damien had his SPG magazine issue 4 Thrain board up, having a small championship game, which of course Jay Clare won. Yeah, it was a very nice evening to cap off an event. So, and of course on Monday we helped up cleaning even more.
Yeah.
We had an interview with David and stuff like that, and then we went back to Stockport to have an extra day there. Bit of a shame that Element Games was closed. on the Monday, but we went to
They had some sort of staff event or something.
yeah, went to Mr. Ali's having a bit of curry.
Yeah, so
Good.
no worries. We always, well, we managed somehow.
Yeah,
So
we
stayed
always
in
manage.
Stockport or in Manchester for most of the day, and then went to Stockport in the afternoon.
Mm.
That's good.
All right, so to summarize the event, live stream. I think that was well received. Something we can do even better next year. Live streaming everything.
Well, there's a lot more of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should. I think we should tag team a bit more. That we could share live stream links once we go live on more channels. But I think live streaming as much as we could. We obviously couldn't live stream the Q&A from the Warhammer Middle-earth team.
As they very simply said, if someone does that, it can never happen again.
Yeah.
So that's a very simple way of saying it.
Yeah.
So no, we're not doing that.
Not doing that. And food. Food at the event was good.
Yes. that was
It
actually-
might be because I love pastries, like pasties.
Maybe but actually the venue or the bar in the actual inside the venue, they had a fairly good selection of pastries.
Yep.
And you could also call out for more food as well, burgers and such
Could
if you
get
wanted.
burgers as well, yeah.
Same as last year, prices were very good.
With the wristband, you got
Yeah.
a discount. That
Yeah.
is awesome. The venue. So the venue itself, and this is where some people have given Ardacon some criticism, is that it's an expensive venue. And
Yeah.
it is an expensive venue. It costs a huge amount of money, but I do think that the venue itself adds to what Ardacon has become. Because Ardacon isn't a tournament. It is 3 tournaments, well actually 4 tournaments, on 3 separate events. People from all across the world attend, and to actually make that a tournament and event that people will go to, it needs to be something more. It needs to be a convention, and having that in the convention hall at the Mercure, I think is awesome, because having that at a school gym or a library or at a hangar or something, it wouldn't be the same. It would be lesser than it was.
Yeah. And you don't really get larger venues for this size of event that can actually accommodate this size of event, really.
Yeah. So I think that the venue does add to the event. I think the just sheer spectacle of coming into the hall and seeing all the tables with the stage and the big chandeliers and everything, it just makes it more awesome. So obviously ticket prices are something that people have argued is something that is a point of contention. I don't think, even as if I see it from British prices, the ticket price isn't high. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Warhammer World GT was £65 for a 2-day event.
That might
55, 65. This is a 3-day event, and that is 80. I think the ticket price is fair.
Considering what you're getting for those £80, you're essentially getting 4 tournaments.
Yeah.
Divide that and you're suddenly down now to £20.
Yeah, so you're on £25 a day plus change, and you get a lot for it, I think. The schedule was great. We were on time on Sunday. We were slightly delayed because of the fire alarm and 2 separate snafus on the Saturday. On the Friday we were on time. Everything went smoothly, and I think that is the main key aspect of the event, was basically smooth.
I think that would be the general key word for the entire event. Was
Yeah.
smooth.
Smooth. And the added things to, so you basically, you had Forge World there, or Game Social was there with Forge World and Game Social products. You had Steam Forge being there.
SPG Magazine.
SPG Magazine was there. You had Generation Shift.
Yeah.
Middle-earth Models. Mercenaries.
Yeah.
Was there.
So actually supposed to be a few more people that couldn't actually make it as well.
Yeah.
Art of War.
Art of War Studios
Yeah,
was
they
supposed to
had
be
a
there.
Crisis there.
And the Galactic Knights, the costumers, was supposed to be there. So this also is what makes it more than just a tournament, having all these extra things, and I think that for next year getting even more stuff in there will make the event itself really above everything else.
Yeah, it becomes more. It becomes less of a tournament and more of an experience, which I also believe is what James wants for it as well.
I think that is the vision for Ardacon, is to have something more than a tournament, something more than just a world championship event. It is a convention where everything for the love of SPG will happen. So organisation. I think James did a great job. During the event, I think he needed to just collate tournament results and announce stuff. That was his thing during the entire tournament.
Yeah.
He had referees doing the referee work, he had people doing the technical bits, he had people selling raffle tickets and stuff like that. And raffle tickets is the reason why Ardacon might have, I'm not saying it was, because at the time I spoke to James, James didn't know if he actually went in the black or was still in the red.
Yeah.
But I think Pete deserves a huge amount of credit for the ticket sales for the raffle.
It's the bear that sold it.
Yeah, get the bed back, Pete. Hashtag bring back the bed. So yeah, the people helping, we helped as much as we could with the stuff we helped with, and I think organisation was top notch. A quality event, the best organised tournament I have ever attended.
I believe I can second that fairly smoothly.
Better than the tournaments I have organised by far, better than all the other tournaments I've attended. Want to echo Will Champion, who is a very critical person of events, and he said by far it's the best tournament you've ever been to. Devon as well.
I believe that both of them have been to a very good amount of events as well.
So yeah, if you're able to, Ardacon next year
Already has a date.
already has a date. It's the weekend of the 17th of August, so same month, but later in the month as well.
Slightly later.
Slightly later, and we have a year of planning.
So there's no excuses now.
No excuses at all, and my honest opinion is that Ardacon next year will sell out,
Probably, yeah.
if I can help it. Because thoughts about next year. So, data set, it is the weekend of the 17th. It will be probably, because James hasn't had the meetings with the Mercury yet, but probably same venue.
Yeah.
I hope it will be the same venue, because now they're used to us. Now that we had two events there, and now they know us.
Not to mention they have made a ton of cash off us. I don't think they mind that.
I don't think they mind, because it's down season for the hotel. I do hope that James will be able to negotiate even better rates on hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because that might mean that somebody goes from a good experience to a great experience, because having a room at the hotel makes for me a big difference.
Yeah, that is definitely a good selling point, even if it's more expensive. It makes for a lot more comfort, and well, in short, if you can manage to get a room at the hotel, then be there. Rooms are fine. Everything you get there is well up, and you basically get everything you need.
Yeah, I thought the breakfast was worse than last year.
The breakfast was better last year, yes.
But not the quality of the breakfast, but the amount of breakfast available, because I don't think they prepped breakfast as well as they could have, because there was like, at one point when I was in queue for breakfast, there was like 2 pieces of bacon, 0 eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully breakfast will be better next year.
Yeah, but that's sort of the closest thing we can get to a sort of critique of the place as well, more or less.
And for next year there will be even more people involved. And something I was going to do as a thing, because James obviously did all the procurement for like the swag bag, getting in touch with Games Workshop and Steamforged and everyone else attending.
Yeah.
Now we have a person for that.
Yes.
I've taken the mantle of international recruiter, so I'm in talks with about 20 different nations now.
Not all of them, and most of them have yes, we're coming.
Yeah, we have in the currently there is, let's see, 16 different nations in the international captains group, with more possibly coming into that group as well. Just heard that hopefully Canada will bring a full team of 9. I think the Dutch will bring more than 1 team. It looks like Norway will bring more than 1 team.
It's possible we bring more than 2 teams at this rate.
Yeah, well,
We'll see.
Realistically, we'll bring a competitive team and a fun team.
Realistically, yes.
Yeah.
But it actually seems to be quite a lot of people wanting to get in on the fun.
Yeah. So if we manage to get 2 full teams, like 18 people, and then we'll split it up so that there's 3 teams of 6, that might be the case, but
we will see what happens.
yeah, we'll see what happens. And yeah, so I do think that tickets will sell out, and I do think that we can selling out means that we have 100 people more than last year. Oh, this year
90. It's 208. I think the limit is so far. It's even higher.
Yeah, add on 1.5 dozen. So 228 people, I think, is the maximum cap. So I do believe that the event will sell out just because of the sheer international amount of people who wants to go to Ardacon for next year.
Then we're looking at more than likely about 100 international participants.
If every international captain brings a full team of 9, it will be about 170 international players.
So
and I don't believe everyone will, but I think about half the amount will be international players and half the amount will be British players. And by British we also include Ireland, because that's the way James thinks. So I'm in charge of international recruiting, and you have another person in charge of the
British
domestic and Ireland aspect of it, so keeping in touch with all the teams there. So even more stuff that James don't have to think about for next year, so he can have the oversight and planning for everything. So not a lot of critique to give, loads of hopes and excitement for next year, even now, and that is the cool thing about Ardacon, because people talked about Ardacon after the event last year. People talked about Ardacon, both positive and negative stuff about Ardacon last year. Obviously the negative stuff has obviously been implemented as changes to how James wanted the event to go, and then you only have the positives left. So this year there has been nearly just positive mentions of Ardacon after the event, and it's still going. 2 weeks after the event, 5 days after the event, we were already planning next year. We were already excited about next year. We talked about it daily, like numerous threads on the Great British Hobbit League and on the Ardacon Facebook page, stuff like that.
People were planning their armies very thoroughly already.
Yeah, and stuff happens. Like it just, the amount to talk about Ardacon next year makes me very, very positive about next year as well. So do get yourself to Manchester, the Mercure and Ardacon next year. I do believe tickets will be on sale before Christmas if everything goes to plan for how James wants it to be.
Yeah.
And that means that if you're a younger player who doesn't have all the money in the world, you can ask for ticket for Ardacon for Christmas.
Or birthday, depending.
Or birthday. You can ask for a ticket to Ardacon for Christmas and the hotel room for birthday. Or the other way around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Options are there.
Options are there.
And everyone that, for example, thought it was far too expensive now or this year, well, now you have a half a year more.
Yeah, so Mom, if you're watching, I want a hotel room and a plane ride to Ardacon next year as a Christmas present.
Yeah.
And birthday present, yeah.
So see, that's how we do it.
Yeah. So I think we'll wrap this up now. Even though it's been 2 weeks, we don't have that much critique for the event, just comments about how to run it even smoother, and I do think even more people involved as a team will make the event better, bigger, and yeah, a must attend event.
Yeah, it's becoming really a community-driven event. That the entire community is just rallying behind, and okay, this is something we want every year.
Yeah.
And James has ended up being the administrator.
Yeah. And I do think that will be fantastic if you can have Ardacon as the must-attend event for international players every year. Because although it's great attending a game structured event, I do think that the initial excitement of a game structured event for international players isn't that great since they are doing it regularly now. So having the Ardacon event instead as the big thing every year is better, because then you'll not only see Games Workshop, but you'll see all the other aspects of the hobby which Games Workshop cannot provide.
They wouldn't have the Rotterdam White Scars fixing the painting competition for one.
Yeah. So yeah, top marks from me about Ardacon. James, thank you so much for running an incredible event. Thank you to all the people who helped you this year, and we do, as a Norwegian community, look very much forward to next year.